Hey guys, today I'm going to take you through the installation of a Holley Dominator system on my turbo LQ4 Camaro. This video deals with the engine portion only, and my future videos will detail the Holley transmission, boost, and water meth control. Now to get your engine running on the Dominator, what you'll need is the ECU, main power harness, plug-and-play harness, in my case the LS1 24X, and pressure transducers for fuel and oil pressure. You'll also need a Holley wideband oxygen sensor. My system is running using the stock GM intake air temperature sensor, coolant temperature sensor, throttle position sensor, idle air control, crank, and cam sensors. I am using a Holley map. So the Dominator kit includes this nice Holley sticker as well as some mounting hardware, a USB cable, and a USB jump drive. The Dominator features an aluminum case with all of the harness plugs along one side. This is the main power harness, and it's fused from the factory. It's also about 13 feet long and worked perfectly for my rear mount battery application. For my engine harness, I'm using the LS1 plug-and-play harness recommended for 24X, 1X applications. So as far as mounting the ECU is concerned, I mounted it to this aluminum block-off plate, which I used to delete my heater box. You can see here I've got the Dominator mounted on a separate plate, which is insulated from the heater block-off plate. You want to make sure if the ECU is mounted close to heat sources like this that it's well insulated. Here's a shot of the ECU mounted in the car. So the power harness simply just plugs into the ECU. It's got to be connected directly to the battery terminals of the vehicle, however. You can't run it through any other fuse block or junction box or anything of that type. You can see here that I do run a central fuse box under the center console, which is fed from the battery, and that just keeps all my other wiring in the same place, but my ECU isn't connected to this box. The Dominator is going to be controlling some of these relays, for example my electric fan. Now, the engine harness is fed into the engine bay, and I did that using this large grommet, which is made by Earls. Now you'll notice there are only a few wires on the harness that you'll need to hook up, including the ignition power wire which turns the ECU on, as well as the wire which turns the fuel pump on. The harness is really easy to install, it's truly plug and play, and it starts with the crank sensor. Due to a ton of stuff in my engine bay, I'll show you that the crank sensor is located right here, because it's really hard to get a video of. Now, due to the variety of injectors out there, Holley doesn't include an injector harness with this, so I made my own using the 570-202 plug and my EV1 connector pigtails. The cam and oil sensors are both located at the back of the engine. For the oil, I use the standard Holley 100 psi transducer. I'm using the stock 1X cam sensor. For my map sensor, I've used the Holley 3.5 bar and it's threaded directly into my intake manifold. This map sensor has a non-standard connector, and you have to install the pigtail which is included with the sensor to the harness in place of the stock GM map sensor connector. For my fuel pressure, I've also used a Holley 100 psi transducer, and it's installed in the sensor port of my fuel pressure regulator. You can see here that the harness plugs into the stock IAC, TPS, and coolant sensor. No modifications required. Now these two ground loops are critical, and they must be bolted directly to the back of the head. You can't bolt them anywhere else. Now I'm using a bunch of extra IOs, including boost control and water meth control, so I purchased the J2A and J2B harnesses. The J2A and J2B are used to run a variety of different inputs and outputs, but you should note that the stock P&P harness actually does have some IO connections which may be sufficient for you, so look into that before you have to go out and buy these new harnesses. I'll go over my additional IOs in more detail in a future video, as I want this one to just show people how to get their car running using the Dominator and nothing else. Here are the jumper harnesses I built to extend out to my extra IOs. They plug straight into the ECU. These harnesses run my water meth and boost control systems, which include onboard air. Now I'll go over some of the initial software setup, which is really important to getting your car running. Now the first thing to do is ensure that your firmware is up to date. See the link in the description. This is your absolute most critical first step. Next, you can start by modifying an existing global file by hitting File, Open, then selecting the most similar tune as yours. Do a save as and rename the tune whatever you want. Now the most important thing in selecting these base calibrations is to ensure that your map sensor matches the same one as is in the calibration. For example, if you have a boosted car with a 3-bar map sensor and you select a base calibration with a 1-bar map sensor, your tune will be way out to lunch. If you're like me and you're using a 3.5-bar sensor, select a tune which is using a 3-bar map. They'll be pretty close, but note that the fueling will be off in the higher pressure ranges. Next, you can go down to your ECU configuration and obviously select Dominator. In the engine parameters, you can adjust your displacement to suit, load sensing, and fuel type. Note that you'll have to use a proprietary Holley oxygen sensor, which isn't included in the Dominator kit. For forced induction applications, the NTK is recommended. You can see here that there are also a range of adjustable startup and fueling settings, which I'm not going to get into here. One of the most important things for getting your engine running properly is that the injector data is correct. Do a little bit of research online and you can easily find the right numbers for your injectors. In the ignition section, you can pre-select a variety of cam and crank sensors. You can also select your rev limiters, firing order, knock sensors, and cranking timing. Note that if you select the custom ignition type, you can actually mix and match cam and crank sensors, and even select no cam sensor to switch to batch fire operation. Now the simplest way to configure your electric fan is through selecting the fan option here and assigning its output pin in the pin map. The typical way this works is that the output pin grounds a relay. The grounded relay then controls the power to your fan. You can see here that all the fueling settings are controlled through the fuel ICF. This includes your base map and target AFR tables. Individual sensors are selected through the Sensors ICF, where you can select your map, CTS, air temperature, oil, and fuel sensors. The idle ICF is where you can adjust all of your IAC controls. Note that the stock LS IAC is a stepper type. Your timing table is located here in the ignition ICF. The pin map here is used to control I/O pins, which are configured through the I/O ICF. If you want to add a new input or output for the very first time, You have to first add the IL-ICF, then name the sensor, configure it, and finally map it. With these basic software settings set up, you're ready to actually hook up your laptop to your computer, transfer your tune, and start checking some sensors for an initial startup. My preferred way for your first startup is to first hook up your laptop to your car, ensure that your fuel pump isn't hooked up, and turn the ignition to the on position. At this stage, you want to go through your sensors and see if they make sense. Look at your intake air temperature, your coolant temperature. Do they make sense? Next, have a look at your map sensor. The map sensor should be showing 1 atmosphere with the car turned off. If these settings seem to make sense, you can try to bump your ignition really quickly and see if the RPMs are moving. If everything here checks out well, it's time to have a friend monitor your engine while you hook up your fuel pump and then check for fuel leaks. Once you make sure you have no fuel leaks, you can then try and crank your engine over for the first time. If your engine starts right away, congratulations, you've done a great job. Let's hope that your engine starts easily the first time. If it doesn't start, the best place to start is by going through your sensors one at a time and ensuring that they make sense and doing your best to bench test them. Hopefully this video gives you all the tools you need to install the Dominator system and get your engine running properly. In future videos, I'm going to go through how the Holley boost control system works, as well as transmission control and water meth control. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll do my best to help you.